Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time for this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Well, this week, USA Wrestling has reports directly from London, England, site of the 2012 Olympic Games. The world has come together for the greatest sports event on the planet, and USA Wrestling teams are making their final preparations for competition. The wrestling action begins Sunday, August 5th, and continues to the final day, August 12th. That's a Sunday. Mark it on your calendars. Well, the world was definitely watching the opening ceremonies held in Olympic Stadium in London Friday the 27th of July. Over 1 billion tuned in. All three U.S. teams were part of the American delegation which marched into the historic stadium. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the opening ceremony captured by the lenses of award-winning photographer John Sachs. Now, many believe that this was one of the best opening ceremonies in history. There was a marvelous entertainment production featuring amazing skits that portrayed important moments in the history of Great Britain. Included fantastic British rock and roll music, which spanned the last 50 years of entertainment. Then came the March of the Nations, where the teams from each country marched into the Olympic Stadium. One of the loudest cheers came from the delegation from the U.S. Fencer Mario Zagunis had the honor as U.S. flag bearer. Included in the march, all 17 U.S. wrestlers from men's freestyle, Greco-Roman, and women's freestyle. Many of the U.S. wrestlers walked in with members of the U.S. men's basketball team and all shared a memorable experience during the ceremonies. Let's take a look at some of the photos taken by U.S. wrestlers that were posted on the internet from that very special night.
One will win. You better be ready, cause I'm not scared. I'll fight till the end, I'll come prepared. One wrong move and my dreams are done. Keep my head up and give them nothing, son. I've been waiting for this day for far too long, and I ain't looking back until I've won.
Well, good news continues, fans. If you're unable to get to London to see the Olympic Games in person, you will be able to watch the competition from your home here in the U.S. NBCOlympics.com will stream live every sports event from the Games, including the wrestling competition. So yes, every match of Olympic wrestling will be webcast. For the live streaming, fans, you've got to be able to have and verify a TV subscription from a cable, satellite, or telco TV provider. In addition, that subscription must include CNBC and MSNBC video tiers, which most already have and should be available to almost every one of you. Wrestling is also scheduled to appear on the NBC television coverage. The sport is currently scheduled to appear on MSNBC, NBC Sports Network, and on selected occasions on the NBC coverage of the Olympic Games itself. Please visit themat.com for NBC television schedules and coverage, which could change, especially if your U.S. teams do really well in London. As always, the most updated coverage of the U.S. Olympic wrestlers will be provided by all of us at USA Wrestling through our website, themat.com, the video portal, themat.tv, and through our active social media, including Facebook and Twitter. Be sure to visit all of our USA Wrestling media outlets every day of the Olympic Games. Although it was a time for training at the beginning of the Olympic Games for some American wrestlers, there were also moments where wrestling captured center stage in the general media coverage of the Games. Such a moment came when all four U.S. women's freestyle Olympians were invited to attend a speech given by First Lady Michelle Obama at their training site at the University of East London in the Docklands. After the speech, Olympian Elena Paraskova made national news when she decided to lift the First Lady when they met. The photo of Elena playfully lifting Michelle Obama was captured by teammate Clarissa Chun and posted on her social media. Reports soon followed on USA Today, NBC, CNN, Politico, and other major media. The White House released a photo of Elena holding up the First Lady and made it their featured picture of the day.
It's pretty exciting. It's just something that doesn't happen every day, so it's pretty amazing the fact that she came down, gave her time to kind of come speak with us, and she went personally around to everybody, like every table, gave all those hugs, like shook our hands.
So did you get a hug from the First Lady?
Yeah, and I gave her a hug and I was like, "Can I pick you up?" She said yes, so I picked her up.
It was an obvious thrill for the whole team to listen to the First Lady and to meet her in person.
And she was like, try to have fun, breathe a little, and win. You know, like giving advice to us. It was great. It was really cool. So just what I needed to hear before our practice.
Did she come by? Did you guys get to shake her hand or meet with her?
I got to give her a big hug and get a picture with her, and you know, you want to have that moment documented. Like you want something to take with you.
James Johnson, one of the U.S. Olympic Greco-Roman coaches, was also able to attend the First Lady's speech.
It was an incredible experience. I think anytime you get to be in the presence of it, First Lady Michelle Obama of the United States is an awesome opportunity. She gave an incredible motivational speech this morning to all the Olympic athletes.
The day prior to the opening ceremonies, the NBC Today show invited men's freestyle world champion Jordan Burroughs and Greco-Roman Olympian Ellis Coleman onto the show. Live from London, the appearance afforded millions of Americans an opportunity to meet these wrestling stars in a very different format.
But I'm super excited to be here. You know, it's beautiful weather, a lot going on. I'm just excited to be around the best athletes in the world.
I mean, my mom, you know, the attitude that she raised me with, everything was always good. She always made it seem like there was nothing wrong, and I mean, that's the attitude that I carried on in my legacy, and I still use it to this day. There's nothing, when everything is wrong, I'm always optimistic, and there's really nothing wrong in my eyes.
NBCOlympics.com sent out a crew to cover the arrival of the U.S. men's freestyle team. They traveled to London on a special charter organized by team leader Mike Novogratz. Instead of flying into London's Heathrow, where the rest of the U.S. teams made their arrival, the U.S. freestyle teams came into London's City Airport, located conveniently near downtown on the River Thames. National Teams Director Mitch Hull talks about the efforts necessary to set up this opportunity for the freestyle athletes.
Well, you got 3 teams coming in 3 days and getting things set up at the USOC. You know, there's always challenges with this. In fact, what I've told people over the 20 years is what you have to realize when you're at games like this and all the things that are involved, that it takes a lot of time to get a little done.
After the chartered flight landed, the bags came out, followed by the athletes and coaches. Before heading off to the Olympic Village, many stopped and did interviews with NBC. We visited with Olympian Jared Freyer upon arrival.
Definitely, that thing is pretty impressive. I mean, the service, filet mignon on the plate, anything we wanted, fruit, yogurt, you name it. And just couldn't ask for a better team leader, and we appreciate all he does for us. And just super cool flying out of a private airport out of New York and then landing here just a mile from the village. Can't beat it.
The U.S. Greco-Roman Olympians will be the first to compete in London. We caught up with all of them during training or at the official Olympic press conference. On Monday, August 5th, U.S. wrestlers scheduled to compete include Spencer Mango at 55 kilos and Ben Provisor at 74 kilos. They talk about their prep.
I feel good. You know, I'm getting adjusted to the time zone and all that. You know, working out hard. Today was probably the last hard workout we're going to do on the mat, and then, you know, start getting our weight down, cutting weight, and, you know, getting ready for the big show.
It's a great facility. You know, we got all our gear yesterday. It was awesome, and yeah, I'm excited to compete for the U.S. I'm excited to live this whole experience through, and I can't wait for every little thing that happens. So.
On Tuesday, the 6th of August, 3 men will take to the Olympic mats for Team USA. 60-kilo star Ellis Coleman, Chaz Betts at 84 kilos, and the big man, Dremel Byers, checks in at 120. They provide an update on their progress.
My expectations for myself personally is bring home a medal, go, and I know that I'm capable of doing it, and I've trained like I'm capable of doing it, and there's no doubt in my mind that I can't do it. So, considering, you know, my 2 junior world medals and competing at a similar, you know, level, I trust in myself and I believe in my training.
I feel good. Camp's going well. Starting to get acclimated a little bit as far as sleep schedule goes and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's been good. I'm on a pretty regular workout schedule. I'm going to keep coming over here. I like to be on the mat pretty much every day.
I'm very excited. We've been training really hard. Coach has been pushing me and getting more out of me than ever before. And I'm just grateful of that, and looking forward to the whistle blowing and doing what I came here to do, get a gold medal.
While the U.S. did not qualify 96 kilos in Greco, that leaves 66-kilo star Justin Lester to wrap up the action to conclude on Wednesday, the 7th of August.
Things have worked out great. I'm here, so you know, that's the first part. So what we got to do now basically is just keep training until August 7th and get on the mat and get the job done. But the experience here has been great.
Stay tuned. More from London when we continue. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
The 4 members of the U.S. Women's Freestyle Olympic team will be competing over 2 days in London. That starts Wednesday, August 8th. Clarissa Chun will represent the U.S. at 48 kilos, and Elena Paraskova will compete at 63 kilos. They've prepared hard for their competition.
Fight for every point, be in that match like from beginning to the end, and I guess for me, just using what I'm good at, you know, whether it's my speed or technique or whatnot, and just wrestling my game, wrestling my style, and bringing me to them.
I don't really know what to expect. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Pan Am's, you know, the village, just kind of things around, which is good, you know, so it's not like a huge shocker to me. So nothing super out of the ordinary, but I said, like, yesterday we just came, but although we did, through processing, we did, like, it did take us like 3 hours to try clothes on, so that was something new for me.
And Thursday, the 9th of August, the women will conclude their action with Americans Kelsey Campbell and Allie Bernard taking to the surface. They talk about the job at hand.
You know, you don't have to be the favorite to win. You don't have to be the best in the world to be the best one day. And I think I'm training to be the best in the world every day. And so I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm not getting caught up in where I stand with everybody else.
I guess it's just a great experience. I've had a lot of success at the junior level, at the university level, but I never really broke through at the senior level. And that was kind of the breaking point. I realized I can do this, and I know now I'm a top contender. So it really just gave me the confidence I need coming to these games, I feel.
The final U.S. Olympic wrestling team to hit the mats will be our men's freestylers. They'll be competing on the very last 3 days of the games. On Friday, the 10th of August, 55-kilo freestyler Sammy Hazewinkle will engage competition, along with world champion Jordan Burroughs, who will wrestle at 74 kilos. Both are looking forward to their challenge.
I'll tell you what, it's been non-stop excitement, which is crazy. Normally non-stop kind of wears me out. I get stressed out with it, but I'm loving every minute. They're keeping us somewhat busy. We're getting our rest time, but they're keeping us busy, and I've never been so happy to be busy.
I would say I have an extremely high level of confidence. You know, I've wrestled for a number of years. I was successful at a number of levels, so I expect to win every time I step out there in the mat. You know, when you reach a new plateau or a new level, you've seen these guys for a number of years. You think these guys are great. This guy was a world champ. This guy was an Olympic champ. But I feel as though the only reason I wasn't at the time was because I hadn't reached that level yet. You know, so I wanted to win, wanted to be the best. And my high school coach always told me to be the best. You have to be the best. So every time I step out there in the mat, I expected to win, and I want to be the best guys in the world.
Saturday, August 11th, 60-kilo freestyle Olympian Coleman Scott will see competition. Also in action, Jake Herbert at 84 kilos, Travel Delegnev at 120 kilos. All three are ready for a big day.
It'd be nice to stay and do everything. It'd be fun to wrestle in about a week here. It'd be like awesome to go on like day 8 or 9 and then have the rest to do it.
Right.
But you know, we got to get away. I'm on the second last day, so I'll have that whole night to experience what it's like walking around the village with the gold medal. So that's the goal of this. You know, I got to keep the eye focused on the prize. It's to come here to compete and to wrestle as hard as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to compete and been a lot of hard training, and you know, it's just now it's all going to pay off. And you know, this is the fun part, is going and competing, and you know, and that's what I'm looking forward to. It really would have been cool to do it earlier and sort of watch more events and this and that. But you know, it is what it is, and you know, I think it's a good way that we can close out the Olympic Games by winning some medals.
I mean, my personality is kind of like anytime I pick anything up, I'm immediately like, I want to be the best at this. So when I started wrestling relatively late, but I was like, what's the best you can do in this? So Olympic champ, I want to be that. So obviously that's when the dream started, like, yeah, I want to be the best at this ever.
Sunday, August 12th, Jared Frere at 66 kilos and Jake Varner at 96 kilos will wrestle on the final day of the Olympic Games.
So, yeah, it's exciting. It definitely puts things in perspective. You know, I know I'm going to go out there and do great things because that's what I think I expect as a coach and a father, and I want to, you know, do that myself.
You know, I feel good. You know, you're at the Olympics, so I can't feel any better. But you know, you just make sure you're getting the right workouts in, the right training in, and doing everything the right way right now. And this is the time you really, you know, pay attention to those things, and just making sure you're having fun and staying focused, and you know, not getting too high strung about it. You know, you're at the Olympics, so you just go out there and compete hard, and you know, I'm looking forward to that.
After the opening ceremonies, only the Greco-Roman team remained in London to complete training and preparation for competition. The men's freestyle team flew to Belarus for a week of training with one of the top wrestling nations in the world. They'll return to Great Britain a few days before the freestyle action is set to begin. The women's freestyle team went under the English Channel from London via bullet train to the small French village of Marquis for its final Olympic training camp. Marquis is located in a rural farming area of northern France with cornfields and cow pastures surrounding a quaint town. The women stayed in a rustic hotel with Roman columns at the door. Beautiful surroundings indeed. The team had its training meals around a long table in the hotel restaurant. Here the team posed at their hotel with a U.S. flag. The hotel in the village was quaint, but the workout facility was all but. It was modern, first class, great training center, 3 full mats inside with weight, locker, and cardio rooms, a sauna, medical training room, a pool, and more. This is the quiet setting where Women's Team USA will get its final training done before returning to London for their competition. Why France before London? National coach Terry Steiner.
I think it's great. I mean, they loved London. It's just not what we needed right now. You know, I mean, I think to come in, to feel the spirit of the games, to feel the energy, to see all that and kind of get an idea of what's coming ahead, I think was good. But then I think we just had to get that calm before the storm a little bit.
Each of the U.S. Olympic women's freestyle wrestlers shared their thoughts on training in France.
It's good. Marquis is quiet. Good to catch up on rest and nap times, and you know, focusing on, you know, getting the job done in a week. So feels good.
Well, it's definitely doing what we hoped it would do, and that's helping us focus and zero in, I think, on what we came here to do, and that's wrestle and compete. And so I think that being here is just allowed us to get away from the hype and the hoopla and just focus on what we need to do.
It's great. It's small, it's quiet, you know, we just get to relax. It's good that we got away from the village. I think if we stay there for like a week and a half before competing, I think my adrenal glands probably would have gave up with it.
Well, was it real hectic and crazy? But what do you think about the first couple days in London?
It was great. I think it was really good just to kind of get like a taste of the Olympics.
It's good. It's a good atmosphere. It's really relaxed and chilled. We're having a lot of fun and just keeping it light, and it's good. I'll get pretty pumped.
Our coverage of the United States Olympic effort continues. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season,
season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, many people are in London to help the U.S. wrestling effort at the Olympic Games. Team leaders, medical staff, additional coaches, training partners, press officers, executive leaders all help to create the team behind the teams. USA Wrestling and the U.S. Olympic Committee work in concert to support the wrestlers representing our nation in their efforts to win Olympic medals. Over the coming episodes, we'll interview many of the key contributors to the success of our Olympic athletes. Army wrestler Aaron Saraki serves as training partner for teammate Justin Lester. He talks about his role.
I'm training with Justin Lester, 66 kilo. He knows everything he has to do to get ready for these championships, Olympics and everything, and just kept, keeping on him, make sure he's got a good partner and giving him the right looks and everything and pushing him a little bit here and there, but for the most part he's doing everything, he needs to do. And he's just stepping up, getting ready, toning it up.
Two of the training partners for women's wrestlers include Helen Maroulis and Jennifer Page. Both joined us at the training facility in London.
I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be here and to just see the Olympic spirit in everything and in everyone.
It's really cool. This is only like my second time really traveling with the team, so it's a pretty awesome tournament to go to.
An amazing staff of doctors and trainers keeps our athletes healthy and ready for action. The medical team in London has worked with many of our wrestlers for years and knows what it takes to help them win. Greco-Roman trainer Rod Rodriguez and team doctor Robert Hines.
Well, every morning we prepare for practice, which includes taping, stretching. After practice, we've been doing some rub downs, been doing some stretching, working with a couple of little chronic injuries, and we're getting ready for competition, so we're cutting weight. When they cut weight, I'm there with them. That way, if anything does happen, I'm able to help them out.
Well, I'm here in a support capacity, medical support 24/7 to any of these athletes that need me. In a perfect Olympics, though, I'm invisible because they don't need me. If there's no injuries, that's a great thing for our team.
Ellis Coleman has had an amazing training partner in London. 2006 World Greco-Roman champion and current MMA star, Joe Warren. Joe talked to us about Ellis's training and the U.S. team.
Ellis is looking good. He's got the best coach on the planet, like I like to say. But everything at the Olympics here in London has been running pretty smooth. We've been practicing a lot. I've been doing a lot of sweating. But the game's real exciting. Our team looks great.
Next week, coverage of the Greco-Roman competition from London will continue our special look inside and behind the scenes from the 2012 London Olympic Games. Until then, and from the studios of USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper. Good night.